like, you can remember, right? We have seen last year we have seen a square shape, rectangular shape, triangle shape and the circle. All these we have seen in the last year. These are 2D shapes. This year we are going to have the 3D shapes as well. Right. Now first we will discuss about the difference between the 2D shapes and the 3D shapes. Right. Let me explain. 2D shapes, if you see, you have only 2 dimensions. See here, there is a length and the breadth. Right. Whereas if you go for a 3D shape, you have a length, breadth as well as the height. This is the main difference between the 2D shapes and the 3D shapes. Right. Now let me explain. I will just recollect square. Right. Once again I will recollect square. You just guess few examples here. Slate. You may have a square slate. If you go for the rectangle shape, you can see a window here. Okay. This window is in the rectangle shape. Your table is in the top of the table is in rectangle shape. So for the triangle shape. A triangle shape you can guess, like few biscuits will come in a triangle shape. Do you remember? Few biscuits will be in the triangle shape. That you can remember. Then the circle, CD is in the circle shape. You can have a CD or the wall clock. Everything is in the circle shape. All these things we have studied in the last year. This year we will go for the 3D shapes. First we will talk about the cube, then cuboid, sphere, cone and the cylinder. Right? Let me go by one. Let me take cube. This is the shape of the cube. See, it's almost like a square. If you see the top view, it is also a square. Front view, it is also a square. See here, there is a length, this is the breadth and this one is the height. This is a 3D shape of a cube. Fine. Example of a 3D shape, you have dice, right? We used to play Paramabadam. Lots of things is there to play with the dice. Ludo, everything we used to play with this dice. This is an example of a cube. Next we will go for the cuboid shape. The cuboid shape, see here, there is a brick. It is in a rectangle. If you see in the front view, it is like a rectangle. Let's see here, there is a length, breadth and the height. It's a 3 dimension, right? So it is a 3D shape. Its name is a cuboid. Brick is an example of a cuboid. Then even your book is an example of a cuboid. See here, length, breadth and the height, everything, right? All these are example of a cuboid. Now next we will go for the sphere. Sphere you can see everywhere. You can see a sphere. See, always we used to play with the balls. That is in a sphere shape. Even your mama will cut that tomato. Sometimes tomato is also in a sphere shape. Lots of fruits are in the sphere shape. Vegetables also in sphere shape. If you take up our globe, you remember, this is a globe. Where we stay, this is our India, we stay here in Tamil Nadu, right? This is also a sphere shape. Example for a sphere shape. Next we will go for the cone. Cone. It's almost like a 3D shape of a triangle. We have seen a 2D shape of a triangle. It's a 3D shape. Cone is a 3D shape. Example of the cone. Sometimes you have if you go out, you can have a ice cream in the cone, right? Cone ice cream you have. In some they will give a popcorn in the cone, right? And in some places it will be used. Now next we will go for the cylindrical shape. It's a 3D shape. See, battery is a very good example for a cylinder. And measuring, right? Measuring instruments also a cylindrical shape. And even in your home, your mama will cook in the gas cylinder, right? See, the starch is also in a cylindrical shape. Next. Now what we have studied is, we have studied the 3D shapes. What are these? Cube, cuboid, sphere, cone and the cylinder. Right. Now what we'll do, you know already about the 2D shapes, right? Now we will get the 2D shapes from these 3D shapes. I am going to use a battery for that. See, the torch light I am taking it, I will take a sphere and I will get a 2D shape from this. See See here, I'm going to put a light. I'm going to throw the light on the 3D shape. It's a sphere shape. Now what happens? Sphere shape becomes a circle, right? Are you able to see? Very good. Like similarly, all other shapes I will make it again. See here. The next one is I will take a cuboid. Cuboid I will make it as a rectangle shape. It's a 2D. Rectangle is a 2D shape, right? See here. I am penetrating a light in the 3D shape and I am getting a rectangle 2D shape. Fine. Next, we'll take a cube. Cube is also, see here, I am going to penetrate the light. Now, see here, this cube becomes now a square. 2D shape square. One more thing we will get. We have a triangle, right? So, next I will take a cone shape. Now this cone becomes a triangle. Am I right? So whenever we penetrate a light on the 3D shapes, we will get a 2D shapes. Even you can identify this in your home. Fine. So we have studied all these 3D shapes and we have recollected our 2D shapes, right? 2D shapes, what we have recollected? We have recollected the square, then we have recollected the rectangle, then the triangle, then the circle, right? And we have studied about the cube, cuboid, sphere, cone and the cylinder. See in your book. See in your book. The first chapter, geometry, right? Take it and see it. See, we have recollected this square, rectangle, triangle, circle. Then we have studied about the 3D shapes, cube, cuboid and cone, cylinder, sphere. All these things you have studied, and today what you have to do, your work is you have to do this, right? You have to match it, and similarly you have to fill this also. This is your activity today. Also, even we have identified the 2D shapes, right? From the 3D shape we have identified the 2D shape. So even this work also you have to continue. Fine. Thought for a day. In these kids, your mama papa will go out and come back to home, or sometimes some guests will come to your home, right? So what you have to do is, when they come, you have to give a warm welcome to them. And if possible, you have to make them sit. Tell them to sit comfortably. Then if possible, you have to take a water, right? Water in a glass and give it to them. This is a very good manners. We have to invite our guests properly, right? Okay. Thank you kids. Next class we'll see you again. Bye.